up. Now, what do they go through from here? Because obviously your mind screams to quad tank, but you got to kind of put it to Urki. This guy plays a lot of things. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw something special out of him too. We have seen a lot of Sombra recently as well. There's a good map for Sombra as well.
We have seen Vigility also play Vafara here. Quite impressively. Wasn't too bad. But Team Singularity, it does look like they are going to move over potentially to the Hanzo and the Junkrat defense with a double projectile. A double projectile you often might not run because the damage is a little bit less sustained. It's less reliable, let's say, because it's harder to hit with projectiles. But when you know you're going to be going up against a lot of tanks, you can afford to run a double projectile because those larger hitboxes are more forgiving and you can lay down the higher damage. Both Obling and Far will deal 120 plus damage per hit with these projectile heroes. And those will shoot through the tanks pretty quickly, as well as Lulcis's shield. But they may be expecting more tanks than currently Angry Titans are showing.
Luddy just executed 2 space Rumbas. I'm very sad. Very sad, man.
That's it. They
weren't doing anything wrong. He just blew them up with a concussion mine.
Oh, look at how tight this formation is going to be. Oh,
they're showing off. Screenshot.
That's a golf clap right there. Good job, Team Singularity. You at least have the coordination in your emotes. Let's see if you can do it with this composition as well.
Well, they've got the hog hook to hook them up into the high ground, then Obling and Fal to rain from above, using those double projectiles like you were saying. Now, Sonic Arrow is going to reveal a lot of the weaknesses Angry Titans are going to be showing. They're not careful. They know exactly where they're going to be now anyway. Obling on that Hanzo is going to find a nice couple of tags, but look how far back he can actually sit as well. There's going to be very few people from Angry Titans that are going to actually be able to deal with him.
Maybe a frivolous use of a Scatter there, but he may well have one. Nerf's already under huge amounts of pressure. Have to use his secondary shield, and down he goes to Urki.
Urki just takes 3 good looks at him and a whole lot of scrap, and he ends up taking him down. Nice little hook onto Fal as well. This Singularity defense is just falling by the wayside.
You can't stop the pig, and Urki certainly making a show of this. Oh, he's going in for a hook, and that would be Lind taken straight out.
Triple go from Urki. He's just solo carrying this point. Hey Fox gets one on the board for himself. Angry Titans willing to share the kill tree, but at least for the time being. He's looking 55% on his ult charge. They're going to take this one pretty much instantaneously. There was no real reaction from Team Singularity.
But now there is a little bit of a reaction coming through because Molfig and Nerfed had swapped over to these more vertical tanks. The Diva and the Winston are going to be able to hang out up top along with Fal, as we can see here. However, Obling, he's going to be joining them. He's going to be around the bottom. He's going to be their main source of contestation for a while because it's going to be very hard for these tanks to pin him down with the exception of the hook.
Well, Coalescence to enter the fight. Angry Titans just moving forwards. Obling has already found himself to the back line though. That's only God who was rather unshielded at the time was having a little bit of trouble dealing with the Tracer. But look at how aggressive Urki's playing with the chain. It's a bit ridiculous when you've got that many people up in your face and after that many people up on your spawn. There's so many health bars now to chunk through. Molfig now just gets desuited. The Riptide will come out. A nice cancel on the res as well from Urki.
However, the whole hog's coming in. He's got so many targets in front of him. His main one's going to be nerfed, and that big hitbox is going to be taking a lot of damage.
There's the Transcendence as well. They're going to keep alive on the point for the time being, but the problem is that May is just going to wall everybody off. A self-destruct comes through as well and executes both Molfig and Obling. They've still got 2 ticks left on the field. However, Cave, not long for this world, and neither is Lind. Urki's just had his number. Not dialing wrong this time. Urki now dealing with the Winston quite handily. This is such a fast push from Titans. Quad tank or not, they are still a very impressive team.
A little bit of a BM Graviton maybe, just making sure that Molfig wasn't going to go anywhere. Cave's being very evasive now, but not evasive enough when faced with the quad tank of Angry Titans. Looks like they're going to try and bring this out. There's the emergency.
Sombra is still on there, still finds the hook, still finds the kill, a 10 kill streak. Primal Rage onto the point, but he's just going to get shoved out. Time ticked over. They managed to stall it out for about a minute there, Legday, but 5 minutes and 20 seconds in the time bank. That is hella impressive. You have to see if Team Singularity can do just about the same because that push was almost flawless.
Oh, 2 minutes and 39 seconds is a pretty good time to post up when you're going to cap your horizon. So Team Singularity, they have their work cut out from Jaws. Not only do they need to fully complete, not in overtime. And they've got to also have a pretty good time of their own if they want any chance of coming back into this series. And of course, Team Singularity, right now they are hoping for a 5th map. They need to go to 2-2 and then take us to a tiebreaker on Oasis if they want to win this out. Because Angry Titans, they're sitting on match point. They're going to be feeling very good about themselves right now. Team Singularity having a couple of hovers here, but let's have a look at the defense of Angry Titans. Looks like it is going to be Lolsish coming back on that Reinhardt, which he's so good at, but Elivo is going to be his best friend in behind him, along with Onigod, making sure Lolsish is feeling nice and cushioned and safe. Some happy places while he swings away.
Some cushioning, I like that. Reinhardt just chilling out on the point. He's got all the bubbles in the world, all the defense matrices, and he can do a whole lot of damage, which is exactly like he wants to be able to do. Singularity running that quad tank won't be too much of a surprise either. That is the map win that they secured a couple of weeks ago. Before last week, they were only one map victory, and it was on Horizon. Now, their running wouldn't be too sorry to say that they're just going to stick with that. Realistically, it is their best performing composition on this map, and it's just so hard to crack as well. You have 4 bodies on the point that are just getting continuously healed by Lind, by Cave. It's very hard to chunk through once it gets going.
Urki has swapped his favourite Australian over to the Junkrat today. No more scrap gun, but it's going to be Farl who's picking up the mantle. He's got a lot to live up to. Urki went absolutely huge in that last fight, especially on the first point. He just got 3 kills by himself, including some rather massive hooks, which I don't think anyone saw coming, especially not Lind.
No, I don't. Lind must just have PTSD right now of the hooks coming out from
post-hook stress disorder?
Yeah.
PHST.
PHST, there you go.
Spelling, there we go.
English, there we got to fit in. Good stuff. Okay, well, I didn't do too well on English in school, but hey, you're here to help me now, Legday.
Well, speaking of things that are going to help outgo the shield from Oberling, building himself up a little bit of charge here, and there's the defense breaking of the shield to keep Angry Titans nice and safe as Farl goes in trying to get a hook.
Look at Urki though, 60% already on that Riptire, just pummeling everybody in that small corridor. Beautiful hook actually onto the Reinhardt, but he's already got an Earth Shatter. He ends up finding Lin with a Flame Strike, and Farl just accepts his fate, ends up falling down. Elivote even finds the DMAC on Molfig, and Luddy gets on the kill feed as well.
What can you do, man, when Lolsish has built up an Earth Shatter? What, AFOX is still at 67% on a Coalescence? That is absolutely insane.
That's what you're talking about, the cushioning coming through onto Lolsish.
Swinging for the fences. They pulled him in, and he was like, oh, thanks for a little bit of extra mobility. Now I'm just going to hold M1 and swing around as fast as I can like a little pain cyclone.
You think Junkrat's good in a tight corridor? Apparently Lolsish's Reinhardt's pretty good too when he gets dragged that far in. Lin's got the Coalescence though, and they do have that, I was going to say sound barrier, but I was looking at the wrong time. My eyes deceived me. They're still going to make their way in, but that tire is going to be oh so scary when he does actually end up using it. Speaking of tires,
has been sent out here by Urki. He's going to be going around, but he may have to take a little bit of damage. No, Cave's going to fall. He blows it up before it can go down. And now Lind's the only healer available for Team Singularity, but they're so spread out.
Graviton Search has been used as well, and there's really no protection. That defense matrix isn't going to help you against Lolsh's charge and hammer. Even Urki taking out Molfig at the end there. Another clean team wipe, although Cave just ended up spawning there. Knew the fight was pretty much over, decided to skip on his way back to point.
Can you imagine if you could just like eat the Reinhardt with a defense matrix as he was charging?
That'd be silly.
Diva OP, plays Nerf. Anyway, Nerf now has his Earth Shatter on Lolsish, just going to be ready to meet him right there. He's only 7% off. He's going to get that pretty quickly with a Flame Strike into all of those bodies. However, Elivo going to be matched by Molfig with the self-destruct.
Instant Coalescence here. Farl actually gets shielded. There's the hammer. It hits the stairs this time around. Where is he? He's behind you, of course. Lolshish with the flanking shatter. And even the self-destruct's going to claim a couple of lives as well. Nothing really they could do in that. I mean, Reinhardt, he might be bulky, but when you've got sneaky beaver shoes on, you're going to find your way to the back line.
The sneakiest of German beavers, absolutely. And now Farl, they're going to be pinning all their hopes on a whole hog, and you don't really want to be pinning all your hopes on a whole hog when Angry Titans have so many methods of mitigating that. They have the Zaya shield, they have the defense matrix, and of course Lolsish's shield. And Urki's ready to get an early pickup as well. Look at how free AFOX is. They're clamping around them. Oh, it's nasty.
It's not pretty to look at. The health bars aren't pretty to look at either. Angry Titans, they are going to be able to secure, well, half a tick, I was going to say, as Urki just sends Farl flying across the map. He jumped up there somehow using a concussion mine. Isn't going to survive all too long, though, as Elivo did manage to chase him down, and even another Riptire is coming through. Hoping this might be his time to shine, though. Hasn't got too much charge, but that Graviton Surge is going to hit the column in the center. Problem is, that Tire's still coming in. Sound Barrier coming through from the side of Angry Titans, keeping them all alive for the time being. Didn't quite hit Urki, but he's free just to lay down the fire. AFOX does find the kill with the Coalescence, and Lin finally gets his up as well, but instantly sent to the floor as Lolsish yet again finds another multi-man Earth Shatter. This guy is solo carrying these defenses.
This man is a very impressive Rhino. He's playing it like a DPS, Matic, directly what I like to see. The Germans, or rather German Crusader, hungry for glory. Erky throws out another trap into the midst of one of Team Singularity's available paths. However, 10 seconds remain. They're going to have to use the speed boost from Cave here to get straight onto the point. It's going to be down to Molfig potentially to use the blasters, get in through the window, and try and start this fight.
Thing is, Singularity know where they're coming from. They have to be able to touch from this angle. They haven't got time to dip up and around. A big Graviton surge coming out from Onigod, and that is all said and done. Self-destruct not even needed. 4-5 hit the floor. And Onigod trying to find the last remaining survivor as overtime ticks through. Angry Titans. They're a Titan in their own right. 3-0 against Team Singularity. They end up finding the game and finding the series. They still got one more map to play for, though. Singularity can kind of hope to get this last point on the board.
Yeah, I think hope's all they've got because someone made Angry Titans absolutely furious, and they have channeled that power, staying angry, taking the series 3-0. There's still one left over. We're going to be heading to Escort. The possibilities are Dorado or Junkertown. Junkertown's a little bit more partial towards those tanky comps along the Bastion, should you require it. Dorado's a bit more dive focused because the verticality on that map is so important when you're defending.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what that's going to be. We'll be right back after this break. Junkertown or Dorado? We'll see you soon. What up, Familams? We're back. Angry Titans proving once again that they are extremely angry, extremely content with taking that victory. 3-0 in all of it all. Singularity not looking so hot at the end of that. Realistically, you got to look at the compositions. You got to go quad tank. Who's the best quad tank in EU? Angry Titans have got something to say against Eagle Gaming's B team. Doesn't really matter at the end of it all. They ended up beating Singularity at their own map as well. Singularity looks so strong over the last couple of weeks on the horizon. Just Titans, they're just much more strong.
Both Team Singularity, they now have a chance to pick our final map. We're going to be heading to Escort. We have a choice, as we said before, of Dorado or of Junkertown. And personally, I would pick Dorado here, just so you can at least show off your dive prowess. I don't think you really want to be showing off more tank play, because that was a massacre.
Yeah, it was. 5+ minutes time bank on horizon for Titans. Like, that's how crazy it was, and then Singularity weren't even able to get the first tick. Dorado is going to be the map, though. Quite accurately predicted, I think. In all honesty, look at the compositions. Look at the way you want to play.
So many flashbacks to those hooks.
You don't want to. If you're Lind right now,
just don't let him.
Don't look
go
at
to a
Roadhog ever
place
again.
where he can play Roadhog. Not again. It was too much.
Do you think Bowser's going to play it regardless?
Mate, it would just be like massive psychological warfare to try and tilt Lind off the face of a planet.
Like,
well, to be fair, he tilted him off the face of the moon, so now he's got to tilt him off the face of the Earth as well. Just leave him somewhere in orbit.
There's a map on another planet as well, just continuing to tilt him off the face of whatever planet he actually ends up on. If I was him right now, in all honesty, I would go as Roadhog. Just go to the gate. Hi. Keep throwing the hook at the gate.
Anyway, Angry Titans going to be starting off on the defense here in the blue. And looks like they are going to be going with that, what we keep calling the trifecta, and it's so effective. Erky, A-Fox, and Luddy. It's incredibly hard to pin down because A-Fox's job, Jaws, is to keep Luddy alive, and Luddy's job is to keep everyone else alive. And of course, Mercy with that Guardian Angel on 2-second cooldown, they have an effective conduit between the back and front line. Erky and A-Fox are always available for that escape, and you can go in, try and heal up Lulsish and Elevate with significantly more healing than a Lucio would provide in the single target bursts. And that means that it's very hard to pin down Luddy.
There's nothing really to stop him at all. You're speaking about those lines of travel. It's very easy for him to just dip over. We've seen a couple of Mercies just slip on what seems to be like a banana peel or something, like over the edge and getting caught off a little bit. But the problem is with this setup here, it is very prone to actually, if you force Elivote and Lulsish to use their movement cooldowns early, it's very easy for them to...
That was a nice Moira bounce. Well,
Yeah.
they know that Lulsish and Elivote are there now. That was definitely a set play coming out from Team Singularity.
Wow.
Nice and intelligent.
Completely interrupted my line of thinking. I'm like, what? Where did that orb come from?
Full bamboo. Oh, no, that wasn't the jump you wanted, buddy.
That is the bamboozle on the jump right there.
Just a face full of red paint.
However, they see Obling on this Widowmaker, giving him a lot of space, in fact. They are just going to pull back right to the center, or the fountain, I should say. Just making sure he can't get any easy shots. There aren't any shields, after all, up on that ledge, so that trifecta in a whole lot of danger.
Now, Erky's going to be playing around the fountain because it gives him a lot of cover that he can rotate around and have different angles to approach from, but Obling is going to be going over towards... Oh, no, Erky. Oh. That wasn't the fountain, buddy.
I love how you instantly spoke about it, instantly got killed.
You didn't stick with the fountain. You should have listened to me.
Yeah, 66% already on those emphasized. Lind is actually going to take out Lulsish. Pretty easy push to start Team Singularity off. Angry Titans just falling flat here on their face. Lind ends up going down to Onigod, but he is going to get revived. A nice little Goomba stomp onto Onigod's face, and Nerfed will end up taking the kill. Should be a fairly easy first point here.
Trace of pancakes, a delicacy of the Dorado festivities. I can tell you that much, but you know what else to do?
A delicacy, Obling's brains on the back of the fountain.
Absolutely, A-Fox making a nice little meal there, but here comes the dive from Angry Titans.
They can do now because they've taken and they've managed to find a pig. They forced out the recall from the Traitor as well, but that beautiful body block actually coming through from the Diva. Angry Titans are going to make their way onto the cart. Nerfed is going to fall, but A-Fox is going to get traded up here. However, very, very short spawn here for Obling. Does mean he's back in the fight already. Foul ends up taking out Erky. Onigod doesn't want to mess with Obling, especially when he's on that Widowmaker. Has to just duck out of the fight for the time being. Trying to get a bit of chunk damage onto that Diva. As soon as they get her out, it's going to be much easier for them to actually enter this site. Foul ends up just going fairly low. Has to get off that recall, but they're still fighting. But Foul just finally finding the last cleanup kills. A-Fox is going to fall. Elivote to follow, and that'll be the payload. Reaching the first checkpoint with 4 minutes to spare.
Just a couple of seconds ago, Obling popped his infrasights, and I don't think that was a very effective use of these because he pretty much knew where everyone on the enemy team was going to be. They were either going to be on the payload or in respawn. And now he doesn't have it as he goes in, and he's going to be challenged out by Lulsish, but he's got the Mercy at his back, and that does as much healing as Winston does damage, so we can try and take that duel.
Nah, but Erky was there as well. Did get a couple of shurikens in on him. He's going to have to pull those out in a minute. He will end up having to back off here. Very, very cautious of jumping up onto that high ground, as Onigod actually finds a nice little flank, kills off Cave. We'll get traded for it though. However, big stagger here coming through on Angry Titan's side.
Lind already going down. Erky's got his eyes on the big targets now. He's going in on Obling.
Nice
so
headshots. That Transcendence as well, just making sure they can all just finish off the rest of the fight, clean it up good and proper. Erky now with the Dragon Blade as well. That was a very well coordinated dive coming out from the Titans.
See, A-Fox can be a bit more laissez-faire with his ultimate here. He can throw out the Transcendence because there's nothing on the side of Team Singularity that would really demand a Transcendence as an answer to it. There's no Dragon Blade to think of, nor is there a Tactical Visor. It's all burst damage, so it's not quite as useful. Obling coming in, trying to get an early snipe and open this one up, but he's not quite as lucky as he would like, and now his luck's run out.
Oh, caught in the corner. Erky takes him out as well as Cave. That duo of the Widowmaker and the Mercy at the mercy of Erky now. He ends up just cleaning up the rest. Angry Titans. Maybe they just didn't actually want to fight on the first point. Legday, maybe they were like, we'll just give it, and then we'll just fight you in the streets, because this is where our comp comes into prowess.
A pity point?
Pity point? Oh,
nah,
no.
It's not. That was a great play from Team Singularity to open that one up, taking Erky's head clean off. However, second, it's less of a...
Wow.
Ouch.
That's a nice dagger,
But
although that will get res.
It's a trade, an ultimate for a resurrection. You're not going to feel too bad about that, but Onigod, he got caught out. He went a little bit too deep, and now Nerfed. It's all about him moving forward. Lulsish has been forced to spend his prime ration. He's going to have to wait that one out, but he can get in on Obling in the back.
Ooh, flying through the air. I thought he was going to go for Obling then. Oh, yes, he is.
Headshot.
Nice headshot, though, in the air. Takes him out with the help of that Discord orb.
He activates the Emphasize, knows exactly where everybody is now. Foul does have that Pulse Bomb, although that Transcendence coming through yet again from Angry Titans, helping them secure the point. Not even needed. Avox tried to retreat to spawn. This could be. Nice Pulse Bomb onto Losish. No saving it in that bubble, buddy. Ends up falling.
Well, he just got a little bit of extra damage on the bubble. And look, already they're taking an alternate route out of the defensive spawn here. There is the second checkpoint being captured by Team Singularity as Far moves forward, but he needs to be very careful. He's faced with 4 members, including a defense mage and a Discord Orb. It's going to make him incredibly squishy as he moves through here. A small hitbox won't save you for that long against all of that incoming fire. However, Cave at the back is going to have a Valkyrie to lay down so much healing if it's required.
That was extremely aggressive, but look at that look at him go straight back actually to the front, to the back line of Angry Titans. Although apparently it didn't even matter. I just saw Avox's name. I'm like, oh, okay, actually killed Foul.
Avox doesn't care.
He doesn't really care at all. He 1v1 the Tracer any day. Angry Titans end up defending at the this front of the gate here, and now it's all on Team Singularity to force their way in. Urki's nearing that Dragon Blade, and they've even got Pulse Bomb and Self-Destruct. Coupled with that Transcendence, they've got a lot of tools to work with over the next couple of fights.
Obling has moved off a Widowmaker. He's moved over to the Genji instead, and this is pretty good. There's not too many great sight lines along this last point, especially with where the cart is, where it is now. Only got going in for a rather optimistic Pulse Bomb, but he's going to be warded away by the remainder of Team Singularity. A little bit of a whiff there.
Yeah, I don't even know where that went. That went up to the heavens, I think. Urki actually finds Lind off the back of the fight, so already Angry Titans with a man advantage. Foul falling extremely low, does get defense matrixed out of the point, and Urki not willing to actually push forward. That Pulse Bomb was stuck to the door. He does have Dragon Blade, but is fairly low. Can't activate it just yet. A nice defense matrix out coming through from Elivote. Although a Self-Destruct, you've got to be really careful. Already gets blasted away, activates that Blade with the help of that Transcendence. There we go, that's the point they need. Lin's going to be the target, ends up taking him down. The deflect actually coming out from Obling wasn't quite enough, but Molfix says not today as he finds the headshot with the Discord Orb. Angry Titans are just going to get a little bit more angry with that Primal Rage. They're going to jump into the back line, but Nerfed all on his lonesome is going to have to find a very, very sweet exit as the rest of his team actually fall around him.
That's the swiftest exit possible. Jaws straight back to spawn, courtesy of Onigod. And there was some good support play there. Cave really just trying his best to help Lind out, making sure that Lind was at least going to, if he was going to die, take up a lot of the time allotted to Urki to bring out that Dragon Blade. So now Angry Titans for their next defense, they have a couple of ultimates in the bank. They almost have a Pulse Bomb. Elivote can bring out the Self-Destruct should it be required. And of course you can make an engagement with Bloody Sandbarrier, but they're likely going to try and save that for when Obling comes out with this Dragon Blade. Otherwise it's going to be very hard to defend against. It's all going to be down to Losish likely here and a Discord Orb on the Genji. But okay,
nice.
Straight into the ceiling.
Pulse Bomb. Does dash up in the air just to make sure the rest of his team don't actually get caught out by it. Angry Titans will yet again open up the fight with 2 kills. Nerfed in a very, very dark place.
Absolutely. Caught in a corner and put down, shall we say.
In the lightest way possible. He was put down. Well, Obling still has that blade. Does mean they actually force out the Pulse Bomb, you could say, from Onigod, but they've only got a minute remaining. Still building up towards that Transcendence. 2 defensive ultimates on the side of Angry Titans very soon. Avox on 80% of that Trans.
Obling going to be trying the same approach again, looking out for Onigod. He's building up to that second Pulse Bomb very quickly. He's already 64%. Misses a Blink there straight into a wall. He's got his eyes on the supports. He's going to draw out the blade.
Lind is going to go down already, so he hasn't got any supports to back him up. He's only 100 HP. He does find 1 kill on Luddy, but he just gets tasered. Losish finding the kill with those 2 supports going down so early on. Angry Titans, they're going to have to pull out a miracle here to stop this cart pushing, but they still got the supportive ultimates when they do come for the respawn. Urki's then going to go down to Foul, but a respawning Elfbox does send a couple of orbs of destruction back. Onigod finds Molfig and Cave, and they're going to have to return to the fight rather quickly. They haven't got too much time left, and Nerfed doesn't even have that Primal Rage. They've only got that Tranquility. They're feeling it right now, but Angry Titans have got that blade in their back pocket. Lind getting completely 1v1'd here. There's nothing he can really do. Primal Rage, although, I say that, perfect disengage. Another Transcendence comes out from Avox this time around, and that blade will find the mark. Obling and Nerfed end up falling. Clean up crew for Angry Titans coming in strong. Titans, they really have a namesake for them, and that blood is very expensive apparently. Team Singularity can't even find the 3rd point.
Yeah, but the blood's pretty expensive. Couldn't even get it for their birthdays. Unfortunate. And there we saw Angry Titans really cash in the ult bank they built up, and just a dominant last performance there, despite Lind almost escaping. Cave did some good peeling there, managing to keep a Winston off him after a primary rage was popped. Unfortunately, it was not enough. And there was great target prioritization there as well from Lolsish on the defense. He knew the rest of his team had the fight on the cart pretty much wrapped up. He decided to chase out Lind after he used the speed boost of a Transcendence to get out of range of most of those heroes, chase him down and make sure that he couldn't re-enter, because those Harmony and Discord orbs are so important in team fights. And if you can remove them from the equation, it's going to be a whole lot easier for the remainder of your team. However, now it is going to be Angry Titans. It's going to be their turn to try and attack. They've got to get 2 points, and we've got to get 44.67 meters in order to claim the 4-0 here in Overwatch Contenders.
Even down to the 0.01 of the meter. But yeah, you aren't wrong at all, and it seems like compositional-wise, Angry Titan really do come up big and strong when it comes to quad tank, but when it comes to dive on dive, or at least with the Widowmaker to boot as well, these teams are actually fairly evenly matched. It was a very, very close state of affairs coming from Singularity on that final couple of pushes. It was just really the Dragon Blades coming out from Urki that sealed the deal.
I don't mind Erbling staying on the Widowmaker here on the defense, a little bit more precarious, because when you get a pick on the offense because of a long run back, it's slightly more valuable than if you get a pick on an attacking side, because they have less of a run back. However, he was showing it off very well on their offense, and he pulled off some very nice shots. I especially like the one on Lolsish, when Lolsish trying to challenge him out on top of the archway. But here, Obling's going to be sticking around, probably next to Lind. It's going to make them very vulnerable to the dive. Cave's going to be potentially staying away from them, staying with Nerfed and Lind, so that he can come in as like sort of a counter dive heal. But looks like it's actually going to be applying the damage boost. That's smart.
Still, Singularity looking for the win on the map. That was very close, actually. Obling almost tagged. Avox wasn't quite fully charged. Didn't have the Discord orb on him either.
I can tell that Jaws is going to be smiling on my right-hand side right now, because Only God has brought out his favorite cowboy. The McCree is finally in play. He's going to be supported by Dive Tank, so he's going to be rather, he's going to be pretty vulnerable, but he is going to be with Avox and Luddy. Maybe he's going to be more about sort of peeling here, making sure that Foul can't get onto Avox, making sure Avox is very much free to do as he pleases. But Urki and Obling, that's going to be the main door to watch for at the moment. Obling's got a commanding view of a marketplace. He's the eye in the sky. The question is, what can he see?
Although you say that, he goes straight push down. There's no real way for him to really run there. Had to just get out of dodge ASAP. Only God runs into the Venom Mine, has to back off as well, although the dive is really coming in strong. All alone, nothing to do.
With the supports.
Doesn't really make sense at all, really, but they can't even get the res, so that Emphasize is going to help them out massively. Obling has got those Emphasize set right on top of the Diva, although right in that bubble can't really do all too much, and actually just annihilates his tanks. Perfect use of the defensive countermeasures coming through from the side of Angry Titans. They do end up just cleaning the rest of the fight out. Foul finds Elivote, however, but the spawns are a little bit too long. It should just push straight through market.
12 years of gaming together have Lolsish and Elivote, and you can really see it coming to a fore here. Their dives are so precise when they play on this map, making quick work of both Lind and Obling thereafter. Urki's going to take a rather, he thought he had for grapple, but he didn't. There it is. He's going to be taking the high ground of a right-hand side now, making sure that Obling can't set up here. Foul's going to, Foul's going to be heading back to respawn, but so is Urki. Lind with a vengeance kill. Not quite as harmonious as you would have thought.
Across the map, Luddy's actually getting dove on here. He's got to be very careful. Actually had to get back to the point. Diva was chasing him up. Molfig did have his number, but right now, just looks like Lolsish has everybody else's numbers, it seems. Obling and Lind discorded and dead. Now finds the Mercy as well, just body blocking through that window. Activates the Primal Rage, try and get the last slap in, but Elivote is going to be able to finish off that kill. Angry Titans just running amok all over Team Singularity.
And Morphic thought it would go and contest for cart, but no, it's going to be the rest of the team. That's very rare that you can get a stagger on a defender, because usually they're trying to stall out the cart, but great play with the Primal Rage there. It might not have been optimal in terms of the DPS available, but he did make the most out of what he had, made sure that Morphic was going to have trouble coming in for the contest. Look at Obling here, playing right on his Venom Mine, so if he gets dived, people are going to be taking additional damage.
He's also getting double pocketed, but can you do much against the double tank threat of Angry Titans? Avox is going to fall first up. Urki's got a lot of room to move here, trying to pick out the Mercy in midair, but she's way too quick for him to pin him down. But apparently the self-destruct can get it. That was sent sky high, and Cave actually falls over. Only God has found the Primal Raging Winston, but not getting too much damage on him. Just happy to charge up the ult for the time being. He's got that Emphasize working up as well, but they're just going to have to deal without it for the time. Angry Titans cleaning the board, cleaning the slate of Singularity. Still with 3.5 minutes on the clock. Urki just running.
Urki's got to clean his conscience as well. That's a whole lot of murder.
Oh boy. Headshot, headshot. Oh, the one clip from Only God as well. He was out of spawn at that time. No tanks to help him whatsoever.
Lind is going to find a kill. Foul finds Only God, but they're still going to walk it in. 2 points now. Only need to grab another 33 meters, and they're going to take 4-0.
Lulsish just doesn't stop, and now he almost has a Primal Rage as well. He's going to live up to the namesake of Angry Titans. He's going to feel absolutely furious already. Through the doorway is the payload. This is the last stretch here for Team Singularity. They need to come in. They need to come in quickly. Cave turn on that speed boost and turn up the tunes because you're really going to need it for this last fight. 4 minutes.
Is the only one with an ultimate right now. Self-destruct. Oh, Herky's already found Foul to start off the fight. And look, Lulsish has free reign in the backline as well. Now Tesla Cannon going through the defense matrix. He activates Primal Rage. The cart is still moving. There's nothing that can stop them now. They're having a good time. Self-destruct. Only for the star points now. You got to get that on the Winston's lab. Although no kills means no stats. The final Transcendence to finish off the round. Angry Titans. They take Dorado, take the series 4-0.
Very dominant performance from our resident Giants for Titans, and looks like they are almost sealing their way into the top 4, making themselves get to those top 8 playoffs. Very impressive performance from them on both the quad tank and the dive. A versatile team indeed.
Well, they are. Although, got to say, both the teams look fairly stacked against each other when it comes to dive. There were definitely moments of brilliance coming out from Team Singularity. When it just came to quad tanks, though, Angry Titans, they've said it themselves. They are one of the best quad tanks in EU, and they just completely outclassed. You're right.
Yeah. I'm excited, but maybe if they get in on 4th place, they'll be going up against the quad tank of Eagle Gaming.
That'll be pretty exciting to watch. But we're going to jump over to the analyst desk. Those guys can break down the series a little bit more.